All right, let's bring back Congresswoman Nancy Mace. We're going to do it by the cell phone this time because I really want to talk to her and be able to hear her. We had some technical difficulties earlier. Congresswoman, thank you so very much. Well, as you know,
thank you, Harris.
A lot of coverage of this particular exchange with another anchor yesterday. Let's watch.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
I was raped at the age of 16, and I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
Women won't come forward because they're defamed by those who perpetrate rape. Donald Trump
they are judged and they're shamed.
What you're doing is defending a man who's been found liable for rape. I don't understand how you can do that.
Not in a criminal court of law. This was a civil judgment over sexual abuse.
I mean, that was unbelievable. First of all, what was that like to sit there and be questioned that way? And what did you say what you wanted to say?
Well, no, I was so shocked and dismayed by the line of questioning. George Stephanopoulos tried to bully me and shame me as a rape survivor over my support for Donald Trump, which is insane to me because he wasn't found guilty of rape anywhere. But the other thing is that George Stephanopoulos, he has never felt the shame of rape. He does not know what this journey is like. It's a journey of healing over a lifetime. And I will tell you, I've been built for tough. I've been through some very tough things, including the Citadel. The Citadel made me tougher than I've ever been. That guy playing Mr. Tough Guy yesterday, he would not last 30 seconds at the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. He has no clue what he's talking about.
What was it that, do you think, brought about the back and forth? I mean, you seem to signal enough with your body language and your words that you felt bullied at that moment, and then you spoke the words, "Stop shaming me."
Yeah, I did. That's why women won't come forward when they're assaulted, is because of the judgment and the shame. And here he was judging me, bullying me, and shaming me as a rape victim for my political choices. And it's wrong, but it's almost like rape is bad unless you're a Republican, and then we're going to shame you for it. And the way that the left reacted, it's just a reflection of how bad Joe Biden's numbers are, that this is what they do to rape survivors, to rape victims, is to shame them for their political choices here. And, you know, I said my piece. I thought I did it more respectfully than I should have, than I probably wanted to. But it was horrifying. And you could see at the very beginning of that interview, I winced. You can see in my facial expression because I was there to talk about 2024. I wasn't brought on to talk about my own rape. I didn't agree to any of that. And he shares the speech I gave in Passion Speech 5 years ago about telling my story for the first time. It's very difficult for me to watch that speech. It's painful. And you can see it on my face. And I was in dismay that this is where he was going with this. It was disgusting.
It takes
gotcha. And I want to know what ABC's female leadership, what do they think about what he did? I mean, they've got female presidents. What do they think about what he did yesterday? It's disgusting.
That's an excellent question. And about those women who may have been victims as well, how they saw you in that moment standing tough. You said you were built for tough. You certainly are. And I know it's a lifetime of healing for you, but along this route, just know you have a lot of support as a victim. I appreciate you being tough in those moments. Thank you, Congresswoman Nancy Mace.
Thank you. Thank you, Harris. That means a lot. Thank you.
Emergency crews are at Auckland International Airport in New Zealand after what's called a technical problem caused injuries to several travellers on a flight from Sydney. 7 passengers and 3 crew members were taken to hospital, with 1 person reported to be in a serious condition. Dozens more were treated at the hospital. The Chilean airline LATAM said its flight had a technical problem which caused strong movement, believed to be a sudden drop. Let's speak to Brian Jockat, who was on that flight from Sydney and is now in Auckland. How are you?
I'm in good nick. I managed to be one of the lucky ones that weren't throwing around that plane in a crazy afternoon.
Yeah, so take us through what happened, Brian.
Probably 2/3 of the way across during the trip, the plane unannounced just dropped. I mean, it dropped unlike anything I've ever experienced on any kind of minor turbulence. and people were thrown out of their seats, hit the top of the roof of the plane, thrown down the aisles. It was madness.
And you saw someone, on their back, on the roof of the plane?
Yes, the gentleman sitting next to me basically was lifted out of his seat, and he was on the roof of on the inside, basically stretched out. And I looked up and I thought I was dreaming, because I was in a bit of a sleep when I awoke from this. And I looked up and noticed what's going on here. And then he just dropped to the floor from the ceiling. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
What was going through your mind? You must have been absolutely terrified.
I looked over my shoulder just to see what else was going on. And some of the roof panels were broken from people being thrown up and knocking through the plastic roof panels in the aisleways. And there was blood coming from several people's heads, and people were yelling and screaming, and it was chaos.
And what happened? How long did it last for, that drop?
It was like a second, 2 seconds, and we went back into the plane. Actually dropped, and then it felt as if you were at the apex of a roller coaster, coming over the top and heading down, and then it straightened up right away. I was sure it was over.
What, I mean, I say you must have been terrified. It sounds horrendous.
Yeah, it was like I said, I'd never experienced anything like that before, and it was. I just felt for all of the injured people, because then a couple of passengers let it be known they were doctors, and they started to circulate to bandage people up and stop the bleeding on some people and put neck braces on other people that were severely injured.
And then how long did the flight continue before you actually landed?
45 minutes we had to go. And once we landed, it was like elation, but it was dead silent from the people that were okay. And the other people, they were just constantly, in pain, kind of trying to be as calm as they could. But yeah, there was a lot of people in. There was 50 plus people injured on that flight.
Yeah, Brian, thank you so much for being with us. We're glad you're safe and well. Thank you for taking through what must have been a really awful experience. Thank you.
And the Oscar goes to Robert Downey Jr.
This is the first Oscar win for Robert Downey Jr. and his third nomination.
Thank you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, fellas. That's amazing. You only flubbed one line. I'd like to thank my terrible childhood and the Academy, in that order. I'd like to thank I'm a veterinarian, I meant wife, Susan Downey over there. She found me a snarling rescue pet, and you love me back to life. That's why I'm here. Thank you. Here's my little secret. I needed this job more than it needed me. Chris knew it. Emma made sure that she surrounded me with one of the great casts and crews of all time, Emily, Killian, Matt Damon, Blunt. It was fantastic, and I stand here before you a better man because of it. You know, what we do is meaningful, and the stuff that we decide to make is important. So back to my publicist. My agent, Philip Raskin, is here, and Andrew Dunlap, my den mother, Joy Feely. Thank you very much. I'm going to thank my stylist in case no one else does. Thanks. Erica, thank you very much. And I'm just going to say this. My entertainment lawyer, Tom Hansen, of 40 years, the half of which he spent trying to get me insured and bailing me out of the hoosecow. Thanks, bro.
Meanwhile, the FDNY is still searching for those rowdy firefighters who booed New York Attorney General Letitia James at a department promotion event last week. You'll remember this. Brian Yanis live in New York City with more. Still talking about this, Brian.
Sandra, good morning. Well, the FDNY is urging firefighters to turn themselves in, insisting they are, quote, not hunting anyone down, but they are looking into those who they say clearly broke department regulations when they booed AG Letitia James and started chanting former President Donald Trump's name at a promotion ceremony last week at a Brooklyn church. Yesterday, FDNY Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh went back to that church and apologized.
I am sorry about the way that we acted. We disappointed our friends who are here, our family who is here, and we disappointed this church that has given us so much over the years.
The FDNY tells Fox about its investigation into its members, quote, it has nothing to do with politics. It's about professionalism at an official event held in a house of worship. While some argue the firefighters were within their First Amendment rights, FDNY bosses are apparently furious over what they deemed as unacceptable behavior by FDNY members Thursday.
First, simmer down. Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
The Post reports a memo handed out at firehouses Sunday warns when you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians. Vote, protest, that's your right, but don't do it on the job's time. On Saturday, Trump went after AG James, who won a $454 million civil fraud case against him.
The fascist and racist Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, I call her Peekaboo James, who, by the way, is now being booed and heckled all over New York because they know it's a scam.
The FDNY union says it will provide representation to any member who is under investigation. Sandra?
Brian Yanis on that story for us. Thank you, Brian.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.